Thanks very much, Steve. Yeah, absolute pleasure, Jade, to welcome you into the commentary box for some racing action. Looking forward to this?
Absolutely. I mean, commentary is a little bit new to me, but I mean, we're watching racing. I've done that all my life, so how hard can it be, eh?
Just follow Owi's lead, give us some stick as we go along, enjoy the race, and looking forward to your insight, and it's great to be here with you in the box. And it's yesterday's race winner, Deegan Fairclough, had a stormer, didn't he?
Deegan's amazing. He's a guy that I've known for a few years now in junior racing. I watched him in the Saxos, and he comes from no financial background as such. His whole family work hard, and he's a pure natural talent. He's really, really impressive.
Yeah, super start yesterday, and we'll talk more about that once this race gets underway. This is the partial reverse grid, and it's a change of format to last year, and we'll come into that as the race gets underway. I'm sure there'll be some breathing time to do that, but here's how they line up. Pole position goes to Joel Bergstrom, with Yampui Sway on second position from Alex Berg and Ella Lloyd, Jack Sherwood and Mika Abrahams on row 3. Reza Seaworthy next up from Abby Pulling, Deegan Fairclough back on row 5 with Kai Darianani. James Higgins on row 6, then it's Alex Ninovich, followed by Leo Robinson and Martin Molnar, Rowan Campbell Pilling and Zach Skula next up from Bart Harrison and Chloe Chong. Next up, Maxwell Dodds, Yuhao Fu, Nina Gateman and August Raber, who was the last driver to enter the championship, or at least be announced. That was earlier on this week. That completes our grid for round 2. So partial reverse grid. We have the usual qualifying, obviously, fastest and second fastest laps. Last year we had a totally reverse grid for race 2, or the reverse grid race, and this year it's only the top 12 that gets reversed, and it has put Abby Pulling into the mix for this one. Abby, of course, who won in F1 Academy, starting here on the outside of row 4, racing with Rodin. It's a mixed calendar for her this year, and difficult for any driver doing 2 different campaigns, particularly single-seaters. Absolutely.
I actually spoke to Abby previously over the weekend, and I asked her about the F4 cars that she's driving, because although both F4 cars in F1 Academy and here, she said they're actually very, very different, and they handle very differently. So she's definitely one to watch. I'm going to be interested to see how she moves on here. But yeah, she said, although on paper they look the same, she said they're really, really different, and that's what she's having to adapt to weekend.
And there's Ella Lloyd, who has not a karting motorsport background, a sporting family. And again, I'll let the viewers learn from you her background.
So I actually coached Ella in her first ever drive of a race car in Ginetta Juniors, part of my dad's motorsport team, E3 Sport. So Ella I've seen progress, and I have to say she's really impressed me this weekend. She's jumped into this series and she's right up the front, and yeah, it's great to see how she gets on now.
She had a super race yesterday, was ahead of Abby Pulling amongst others, and held Abby off for a long time, and considering her experience, superb racing, and scored well in the race. Points to be gained from here, but we look at Joel Bergstrom, Yuampu Tsui on the outside as the last couple of cars come into line. Yuampu was the winner yesterday of the rookie category, first-year car drivers. He's in the Finsis by Argenti car on the outside, and it's the JHR machine of Joel Bergstrom who lines up on the inside. Alex Berg for Fortec gets away well from third, the red and white car, and it's Berg who slots through into the lead. Berg's got the lead, amazing start for the driver, the son of Alan Berg, the ex-Formula 1 driver, takes the lead. It's Yuampu Tsui in second position, and in third place, Joel Bergstrom. And Joel he'll learn from the reverse grid starts. That is what it's all about, but super stuff from Bergstrom to go through the pair of them.
Yeah, what a move that was, and seemingly a clean first lap so far. Abby is trying to move forward as well, but yeah, this circuit is where you don't want to be running wide a lot. It's obviously, we've seen the weather at the start of the day, so everyone's trying to make a little bit of progress without going too far.
Yeah, super stuff from Alex Berg. What a really great young man he is. We met him first off at the media day, which was at the MS UK headquarters in Bicester. They get the drivers away from the racetrack for a day to meet and chat to us all, and he's very self-assured. You know, he looks like a mini Formula 1 driver for sure. The way he did that start on track and the way he presents himself to us in the media. Very crowded field though, reverse grid, Pulling, is that Reza that she's still got on the inside of her? She's got to go down into the Roberts chicane and trying to go through. It was Rez, and she's made the move on him in the number 4 car.
Absolutely, what an opening first lap this is. I'm really enjoying it. The battle that we can see just before that lead, just behind that lead pack into Redgate is going to be really interesting. I think we've got 3 wide going into there now.
Lost Rowan Campbell-Pilling at the back of the field, which is a little bit of a shame. Has lost some positions as Berg goes through well in lead position at the moment. Pilling now busy So we're pulling, having a look now at Kai Darianani, who is there in the number 8 car, moving over to Fortec this year from Virtuosi last year. A little bit of an off there on the gravel. Let's try and pick up on that. That's Zach Skula, isn't it, in the 23, who goes off the Aussie, and based in the Emirates as well. Excel Motorsport coming into the championship this year, the Emirates-based team, and both he and his teammate August Raber have been with that team many years, and they've stuck with them, and great development coming through karts and then making a British F4 debut. Absolutely.
I think we're going to see more of this, where the karting teams start moving up to create their own ladder for the drivers that they have, because a lot of the times they go karting, they are successful, and then they move on and you don't see them again. So I think, you know, we'll see a lot more teams creating.
Round goes one of the Virtuosi cars. Now, it's not Dodds, is it? Because Dodds is the one that hasn't got the rookie flag. We'll talk about the rookies a little bit later on.
Likely safety car.
Molnar, it's Martin Molnar, isn't it, in the 24 that's dropped down there. The Hungarian driver, he's being mentored by Tamas Palkis, who was in Formula Renault, was, I think, third position in the Graduate Cup in Formula Renault many years ago. And it's strangely Tamas back in the paddock. So there is Martin Molnar, sadly out. Again, very quick yesterday. Here's a replay. Maybe talk us through, if you can, what you think.
Yeah, there's obviously been a move being made on the inside here, but he tries to hold it around the outside, turns in, and it's so hard to get 2 through that corner. Yeah, 2 into 1 doesn't go.
That was Leo Robinson, I think, trying to make the challenge in that inside of the 33 car.
It can be done, but you have to give each other racing room, and seemingly there was a little bit lacking just there.
So hard lines for Leo. Might find himself with a visit to the Clerk of the Courses office afterwards, and safety car obviously being scrambled. Timing tower showed you the yellow square after a couple of the names. That's the rookie drivers, first-year car drivers. You can basically do 2 race meetings in cars and qualify the following year to be a rookie. So some of these guys have done a couple of races in UAE over the winter, or maybe done a couple of Ginetta Junior car races or something like that. One who is, I think, sort of rookie status, but isn't a rookie on the books, is Max Dodds, who's coming back after doing GCSEs and stuff like that. But he's really a single-seater expert. We're going to have another look at the race start and just get the chance to watch Alex Berg making this superb start, Jade.
Yeah, he gets off the line amazingly well and just gets the traction, you know, and he just goes in between the 2 cars there. And I'd imagine at this point he's had a little check of his mirrors, realised he's in the lead, and he's away now. Yeah, an amazing start, and what a way to end this day. Obviously, they've only got 1 race so far today due to the timetable, but he's making the most of it.
He is. That's going to be massive for his confidence, and this is the purpose really of the partial reverse grids. It's giving people a chance. At this stage of the season, we can't say they haven't had the chance to start at the front because it's round 1, but it just gives them that confidence. And here's Abby's getaway.
Yeah, Abby had a little bit of a bog down, it looks like there. Her initial start looked okay, and then she bogged down, lost a couple of positions. Running down to turn 1, she's opted for the outside, and fairly clean turn 1. No one really looking at on the inside there, but yeah, that start hurt her a little bit there. She should have been right on the gearbox of Lee's car in front, but making a move down Craners on lap 1 with cold tyres, that's nice and brave. Yeah, you know, mixed start for Abby, but I know that she'll be fighting her way through once his safety car comes back in.
The car that flew past and then went straight out onto the outside line to try and make some more was Deegan Fairclough, needless to say, after yesterday. And I'll get to the point I was going to make earlier on, is that he started back on row 2 and effectively did what Alex Berg did today, coming up from row 2 and into the lead and flew off with the win. He's very much tipped as one of the drivers to win the championship this year. Absolutely.
I mean, like I say, he's come from no financial background. He works super hard, but he's just a natural talent, and every car he gets into, he's quick, you know, and he works super hard. He's got a good team around him, and you know, he's a name to watch. He races in British F4. He's also raced out in the UAE a couple of times, and wherever he goes, he seems to have some success.
He's doing well, and he's very natural. He's a very natural guy to talk to, isn't he? There's no sort of airs and graces or political correctness.
No, I mean, if you've ever met his mum as well, she's a crazy lady.
She's a great character, isn't she?
Yeah, she's brilliant. So yeah, he's got brilliant people around him, like I say, and as long as he carries on that forward momentum and keeps his feet on the ground and, you know, keeps working hard, I think he's going to be a name for the future.
A couple of changes up towards the higher end before the safety car came. We've got Mika Abrahams now up into 2nd position, running with High-Tech this year. Mika was as a 2nd-year driver. Lots of banter with some of them about who owes money and this, that and the other. They all get together and they all kind of gel, you know, in the pack, and sort of hang out together, which is really good. A couple of them didn't when we were, again, at the media day. I'd met a couple of drivers before, obviously met Abby Pulling. I'd spent a lot of time with Abby through Jeanetta Scholarship, Jeanetta Junior and Jeanetta Senior. She raced in for a little while as well. And I think it was Mika Abrahams who hadn't spoken to her, or was it Kai Darien, or one of the two. But rather than talk to her, an interview on media day, I said, do you know what, I'm going to stand back, you two sit there, interview yourselves. And they had a mega absolute chat. Out of the banter, they hadn't done it before, but they both, it was like speed dating. Absolutely. I'll get in trouble for calling it that, but
you know that on track they're just rivals and they're going to push as hard as possible. But I love it when drivers have that camaraderie off track, because you know there's so much about a racing driver now that needs to be able to do that stuff off track as well. And for the F4 Championship, it's brilliant to have that friendships within the drivers. It means that they can put out good content, social media, you know, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the banter between the drivers is definitely a good thing off track, I think.
Yeah, another name for the future here, Yuan Sui. I think I've got that right. I apologise if I haven't, but I spoke to him yesterday. The Chinese driver, McLaren Mercedes protege, is part of the academy moving up. Won the rookie category yesterday. So Super 1, I was kind of thinking he was going to be capable of taking this win because he was starting on the front row. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think about what Alex Berg was going to do. But the Yampu, the Chinese really getting in tune with what we're doing over here and bringing global drivers together. Got Yu Hao Fu racing as well in Virtuosi number 99. But Yampu, first car race, being tutored. Again, lovely guy. I love the Chinese, always really polite and a joy to talk to.
One thing I've noticed about this championship is the nationalities on the grid. You know, we've got someone from everywhere on this grid, and that just shows the quality of the British F4 Championship, is that it's drawing in those drivers from around the world, knowing that the best way to learn single-seaters is to come here in the UK and race on the TOCA package.
Safety car lights out here at Donington. We're getting ready to race again. This is new territory for Alex Berg. He's not a rookie because he has raced cars before. He's won in American F4. He's won the Mazda MX-5 Mark III Championship in the States as well. He is no slouch. Away we go. And has he got the best of that? Mika Abrahams in second, on board with Abby Pulling a little bit further back. And it's a good start from Berg. I think we might get a change for third place. Deegan Fairclough loves a restart for sure. He's in the rocket ship number 7. He's going to have a look on the inside car in the gravel. Keep it going. We don't want another safety car. Thankfully, he does keep it going. That was Reza Seaworthen, who comes up from the Jeanetta Junior Championship, was runner-up in that championship last year. Disappointing that he's gone down, but great that he's managed to keep it back on circuit. Absolutely,
we don't want any more safety cars or hold-ups today. But again, a fairly clean lap. I actually thought the restart was very, very good, considering, you know, he's not had that much experience doing it. He's under a little bit of pressure now, but the initial restart and the launch was good, and he gave himself that breathing space into turn 1.
Diggs is lining up Jack Sherwood here. We've got the Rodin man in third position. Here's a replay of what Abby saw the previous one. Oh, okay. It's just so close, isn't it, out there?
Yeah, I mean, the cars are running side by side and there's no room for error here, and Abby's struggling a little bit with maybe some setup in the car. She doesn't seem to be too comfortable in that car, but, you know, we've still got 10 minutes to go and I'm sure she'll be pushing hard.
Saw the Bart Harrison going through. He was second in the rookies yesterday and having a good run in the lone Chris Dittman racing car. They won the rookie championship last year. How's Fairclough managed to deal with Sherwood yet? He hasn't. He's at the head of this group. And I would fancy that Deegan might be. If anyone's going to make a move, it is Deegan. He goes side by side here. He's looking for third position. Deegan, Fairclough, is he going to go for the switchback? Nothing doing there. Jack Sherwood, of course, is a driver with a lot of experience in these as well. And it's the high-tech man looking on the inside of the Rodin Motorsport car. He's got the line. Surely he's going to get it done. But Sherwood is fighting back on the inside. It's Sway behind them as well. And if they hold each other up here, Yuan Sway is going to get in the mix as well. He's caught up with them, as too has Joel Bergstrom, front row starter in the top 6 is there as well. But Deegan has met a little bit of a match here in Jack Sherwood. Yeah, I mean, he's desperate to get past him and he's really trying every move, but by doing so he's backing himself up into the pack behind, which means we could then end up having a multi-car race towards the end of this stint. But Deegan's trying everything he can, but, you know, he's just not pulling it off yet. But bear in mind, he's right on him now and he's going to give it another go. Ella Lloyd's having a go here at James Higgins in the 18 car. James qualifying P1 and P2 respectively, was downcast about that yesterday. And some of his dad actually said to him, no, you need to be pleased about it, but he's such that, no, he wanted double pole. And this hasn't played out this weekend how he wanted it, and he's really under pressure from Ella Lloyd, who's doing a super job. And Ella putting him under a lot of pressure. Deegan Fairclough in the 7 car, still trying to get past Sherwood, who was a latecomer to this championship. There was talk about him racing following in his dad's wheel tracks and going into Carrera Cup this year, but the opportunity came up to do another single-seater season, which he's done, and he's in the fight and no doubt enjoying this race with Deegan.
Absolutely, they're just battling lap after lap, and it seems to be they know where each other are strong and weaker. And you know, turn 1 into Craners, Deegan just can't quite get on the back of him, but up towards McLean and Coppice, he's right on him again. So there seems to be 2 halves of a lap. Max
Dodds trying to pass Abby Pulling there. Max in the blue Virtuosi car. He's got the fluorescent helmet and can't quite make it through. There is Doddsy in the 17, the green helmet. Now he's on the outside line. See whether he's going to be able to get the better of Abby here. Meanwhile, Bart Harrison goes through ahead of him. In fact, it's the 33, isn't it? It's Leo Robinson now who he's dicing with. So Abby's actually pulled away from that battle with Alex Berg still out front. Now Berg with the fastest lap, so very clearly got the pace, and we often see that in F4 racing, that if you get away off the front, get the clear air, even though potentially we've got midfield runners from qualifying there, big bouncy moments for Doddsy, and that loses him momentum, and then flying past him goes Rowan Campbell-Pilling on his debut weekend, makes the place. And does that put Rowan up into rookie category, rookie podium categories? No, it doesn't, not quite yet. He's got a lot of work to do. Bart Harrison is going to get a double podium, I think, but they're still working hard. 29, the XL Motorsport one, is August Raber.
Yeah, you just see here Dodds just runs a little bit wide and he just drops a wheel onto that gravel, which means he runs 2 wheels across the dirt, which doesn't take just 1 corner to clean up. It'll take a couple, which is what's dropped him back into that pack again.
Rowan Campbell-Pilling, he's quite a character. He rocks up and always says hello. Met him when he was, well, he didn't even do the junior car route. As Deegan now come back to that, there's a little clash of the wheels there between Sherwood and Deegan Fairclough. And Deegan, I think, tried to not back out of it, but certainly moved away for it. He was aware that they were very close. Still side by side here. Fairclough runs with him, coming down into the old hairpin. Jack Sherwood holds on. Sway is coming up as well behind them. It's James Higgins having a very good, I tell you what, Jade, we are going to be in for a superb season here.
Aren't we just? And what clean racing as well. There's no lack of bravery between these two, but we haven't had any real contact. We've got driver going round the outside here.
Sway goes round the outside. He makes up 1 place, and now he's going to have a go at Jack Sherwood. He's going to see if he can achieve what Deegan Fairclough hasn't done so far, and he's done it. This is the Mercedes Junior on the outside line. This is audacious racing from him. Has he got the pace here? Doesn't quite have the momentum initially out of the corner. Fairclough goes back on the inside. Fairclough's got the line as they come down into the Roberts chicane, but it's Sherwood still there, and Fairclough goes back in behind him, and Sway has got to do all the work again.
I tell you what, maybe we should leave these drivers all day to race each weekend, because they've obviously been hepped up all day and they're releasing it now, and what a race we've got here.
James Higgins at the back of this quartet, the black car with the blue trim, and Fairclough is through. Deegan Fairclough goes through, Caesar goes through. There must have been so much going on Jack Sherwood's mirrors, but Fairclough has now finally got up onto the podium.
Absolutely, and what he'll try and do now is get his head down and try and break a gap, but has he done too much to his tyres trying to get into that position? We will find out.
Higgins making up a position there as well. Sway losing out a little bit, so just losing a bit of momentum after that splendid run around the outside, which was absolutely superb. Joel Bergstrom coming up as well. After losing ground at the start, he's gaining a little bit of mid-race or towards the end of the race momentum and getting back. But look at that pack. This shows how competitive this is. If you look at the qualifying times, there's nothing between any of them. A little bit of a lock-up there going in. It's Alex Ninovich, our first proper look at him, the Rodin driver from the Antipodes, coming through and getting at the head of this bunch.
Absolutely, and this just is a credit to the championship. It's all one make series, so this is down to driver and setup. Look at this gaggle going into the final chicane, and they're all coming through relatively cleanly. Yes, amazing driving from all of them, and I have to just point out Ella again. She's fairly inexperienced to most of them, but she's in this pack. She's just ahead of this group here, but she is fighting very hard, and I bet her eyes are in every single mirror every split second.
We've got a battle on now for the lead rookie, and you can see the red car, the 77. That is Bart Harrison, and Yamput Sway is there with him as well, and Harrison has got through to lead. The tall young Yorkshireman goes through, and he's got the rookie class lead. Sensational stuff from him, and he's on his own in the team. He's not got anyone to share data with, but he's come through and he's got the rookie class lead. Fantastic.
This is like a kart race, you know, and you don't want to lead the last lap of a kart race. This is exactly the same. They're all nose to tail, absolutely battling wheel to wheel, but it's so clean, and they're giving each other racing room, and it's entertaining. And what a race.
Got Rowan Campbell pilling up into third in the rookies as well, so they've had an absolute stonker. Now is Fairclough, now in clear air, going to get a fastest lap. Mika Abrahams has usurped Berg at the top of the tree in terms of fastest laps, and I would watch Fairclough to see if he can get the bonus point for fastest lap. Berg is still clear by 0.6 of a second from Abrahams, and that's not a comfortable position to be in necessarily. We've got 3 minutes on the clock. There is the second place man, Mika Abrahams, the young South African driver. There were 2 of them last year. Remember, Akil Alibi raced with us as well. Akil got a race win, I think it was at Snetterton in the reverse grid race. And Mika Abrahams looking poised now and certainly setting himself out as a potential race winner in this championship, chasing Berg.
Absolutely, and Deegan there putting in the fastest lap of the race. He's a little bit further behind with only 2 or 3 minutes left to go. He's unlikely to catch the 2 leaders, but he's showing that he's got the pace and he's done that fastest lap. So Deegan once again showing his talent.
So these are the lead pairing. We'll see Deegan coming into shot in the background in a minute. There he is, just a dot in the distance at the moment. But this is crucial. Deegan will be, well, no, he won't be overly happy with third place, but points-wise, this is what he needs to do in the reverse grid races. Pick up any points that are available. Third position in a reverse grid race in the first meeting of the year is sensational, but our race leaders have done. There is Deegan, back in third place, fastest lap, bonus point for that. He also, Jade, get points in this one, as you know, for how many places you gain in the reverse grid race, up to a maximum of 25 or 10 points, making a maximum for the race of 25 if you win. So Berg will get extra points for the 2 places that he made up off the start. Now we're looking at Yuhao Fu getting stuck in, and he's going to try and pass Abby Pulling, who's actually got a time penalty as well for track limits to be added on. I think that might have popped up on your screen at some time. And then August Raber, who hasn't done, I don't think, as much testing as many of the other drivers, and was a late announcement this week to come into the championship in the wonderfully liveried XL cars. Very easy to spot those guys, so grateful they've got a different livery to many of the other cars. And Abby having a struggle here, has to be said. Yeah,
she seems to be struggling a little bit with the setup of the car. Some of the corners when we've seen the onboard, a little bit of understeer maybe, struggling to get into the apex, but yeah, she's battling through, but it's not helped her with that track limits penalty either, so we'll see how that plays out. But the 2 leaders have checked out. What a race from those 2. They're seemingly working together in some ways to just break away, but I wonder if it will get a bit feisty towards the last couple of laps here.
I wonder if it will. Now I'm hearing a 5-second penalty for the leader. Berg exceeds track limits. He's got a 5-second penalty. It means that Mika Abrahams could be on for his first win here, and Deegan Fairclough, if he can get closer, the gap is 5.3 between them at the moment, so Fairclough could be on for second position here. At the moment, Berg on the clock will be in second. With the time penalty, you've got to be so careful of track limits.
Absolutely, but one thing to bear in mind here is there's no communication between pit lane and car other than the pit board they've got there, so Deegan won't necessarily know that he needs to just find 0.4 of a second.
He'll do that.
He'll tell us he'll do that, but he doesn't know it, you know, so he's got to keep pushing, and hopefully he'll get just under that 5 seconds to gain that second place.
27 seconds on the clock. It looks like going to squeeze out another lap on this one, so Alex Berg, feel a little bit sorry for him. He'll be pleased to take the win on the road. I know Deegan was last year when he got his first win on the road. That did get taken away from him, but there is something about taking that checker.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special moment, but, you know, these track limits, the rules are rules, you know, it's the same for everyone here, so, you know, the penalty will stand. It's just unfortunate, but it's such small margins now with this new ruling that it's very, very tricky, but, yeah, he'll have a special moment taken, knowing he's got the pace to win F4 races.
Deegs has got it, hasn't he?
He's got it, there he goes, 4.1 now, so that's done for Deegan.
Came through the raced in the Fiesta Junior Championship. We talk a lot about Ginetta Juniors, but raced in the Fiesta Juniors as well, which is a superb competition for youngsters to come through. So Berg the leader on the road, Abrahams the leader on the clock. Mika Abrahams, the young South African driver, second year. Quite a little character he is. You know, when Alex Berg, very professional and presented himself as you would expect an F1 driver. Mika, very cheeky little youngster, came into the championship last year after I think 3 rounds because he was too young to join at the start of the season. And this is going to be his first win. So we'll see the checker for Alex Berg. That'll be a nice moment for him, and he knows he's got the pace to do that. And he does a little bit of a victory sway, takes the checkered flag, but it's going to be Abrahams that takes the win with Deegan Fairclough coming across the line, ultimately in second position. Jack Sherwood hangs on for a very impressive fourth. It was a good race from him. James Higgins in fifth, and Alex Ninovich stealthily getting up into sixth position ahead of Ella Lloyd and Kai Darianani.
Berg still managing to grab a podium with that, which is a sweetener to that penalty.
Good race. So, what do you think of your first taste of joining us in the box for F4?
Entertaining, isn't it? Really, really good racing. Clean, feisty. Yeah, looking forward to more F4 action over the season.
I think Mika Abrahams knows he's got it. The switch from Virtuosi last year, High-Tech this year, sorry, Fortec last year, to the High-Tech team this year. And it's not clear-cut, and I don't think F4 ever has been. You know, in past years, we would talk about Trevor Carlin's team. It was Rodin Carlin last year. This year, just Rodin. They are still a force to be reckoned with, but there are so many other teams that are capable of delivering winning drivers and delivering a championship. And if you look back over the last few seasons, lots of different teams have won it. It's not been all about Carlin necessarily.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many team names that I even know from back when I was young in this paddock. So the knowledge that they'll have and the experience they have is really coming together. But it's a great grid, great nationalities, people from all over the world. The driving's amazing, and yeah, I think we're in for a really good season with these youngsters battling out.
Mika told me earlier on in the month that he had lots of friends coming over from Johannesburg this weekend to see him race, so a frustrating day for them weather-wise, but what a great end for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they enjoyed the rain this morning. You know, at the start, we're almost in May and we nearly got flooded this morning, but yeah, it's yeah, it's going to be a great season, and it's good to see that there's young drivers around, all creating their own character. This is what we're going to see over the year, is that these characters come out, and the battle of the championship will be brilliant.
So here's the result, round 2 of the ROKiT F4 British Championship here at Donington Park. Mika Abrahams takes the win from Deegan Fairclough. Winner on the road, Alex Bird. Well, track limits for him down in 3rd, but a good podium. Jack Sherwood in 4th from James Higgins and Alex Ninovich. Ella Lloyd in 7th from Kai Darianani. The rookie category is won by Bart Harrison. He'll be delighted with that. More gossip about him next time out, so stay tuned for that. Yuan Put Sui in 10th position, 2nd in the rookies and the rookie podium. Same as yesterday, but a different order. Rowan Campbell-Pilling wraps that up with Leo Robinson 12th from Joel Bergstrom. Reza Suworthan next up in 14th. Good recovery from him. Max Dodds 15th from Chloe Chong, who got the better of Abby Pulling in the closing stages. I think with that penalty for Abby. Nina Gateman completed the trio of girls there in 18th place. Yu Hao Fu next up from August Raber in 20th. 21st was Zach Skula, and Martin Molnar obviously went off in the gravel after that contact with Leo Robinson earlier on, and sadly out of the race, but he'll be back for our next round.